the 2K Sports pregame show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here. And
I miss you too,
and
Ernie.
I'm really happy that Kenny and Shaq are here,
I
too.
miss you too, Ernie.
Thank you. Me too. Tonight, it'll be the Golden State Warriors going up against the Los Angeles Lakers. Taking a look at the Lakers, they are hungry for a win here. Last season, they got swept by this team. 4 straight losses, something they haven't forgotten. Getting a little amped up. Opening night of the regular season now upon us. Shaq, what were you looking forward to the most here on opening night?
2 things. Let me get this out the way. Hanging out with you guys. You know I love you guys. I miss you guys. It's been a great summer. And getting back to the greatest game in the world.
Which of those, if you only had one, which of those would be?
I would have to say the game would come second.
Oh, man. You're the greatest.
I love you guys.
You are the greatest.
I appreciate that.
I don't even care what you got to say about opening. Well, I do. What are you looking forward to besides hanging out with us?
I was just looking forward to hanging out with you guys, and seeing the off-season changes. But if I had to choose between the off-season changes and how they pan out, and hanging out with you guys, I would take the off-season changes to see how it pans out.
I got your back.
And I got your back.
And I wish you weren't back. Here's Kevin Harlan.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, direct your attention to center court for the award ceremony. Dean Jones.
The sold-out and noisy Oracle Arena. We've got the Los Angeles Lakers facing the NBA champion Golden State Warriors. With Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, Kevin Harlan. And joining us tonight, a man who once said he will never write another traditional sports column. Please don't say that so, Bill Simmons. Don't say that.
Well, now you just have to tweet. You need 280 characters, and you can pretend you're a writer.
What do you think of social media?
I actually think for basketball it's been a huge advantage. And it hasn't been a huge advantage for a lot of other things, but I think it's made basketball a lot more fun. I do worry, though, sometimes that people are just watching their Twitter feed over the games. I still think there's an advantage for people who actually are watching what's going on versus watching people's reactions to what's going on.
Interesting. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. A starting 5 on the floor. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. Ingram is out there with JaVale McGee. And it's Rondo in at the 1 spot. Here's Thompson. McGee with the block. Draymond Green, everything he brings to the table, his defense, his charisma, his offensive game, a great passing game. Is there a player you compare him to?
Well, I have a soft spot for Draymond because we did the courtside show for HBO, the behind-the-scenes finals thing.
Yes.
And he had some of the most unbelievable stuff that we couldn't keep in the show.
No kidding.
Draymond is one of a kind because he's basically a center, but the only other center who's really succeeded at his size was Wes Unseld a million years ago. He's a stretch 5 who doesn't really shoot threes that well, but tends to make them when he absolutely
Steve
has to.
does not want him taking threes.
No.
Not at all.
But when he actually takes them in a big spot, a lot of times they go in.
No. Okay,
Yeah, he's a great yes guy.
Yeah.
I think he brings all their alpha. I don't think Durant and Curry are the traditional alphas, and I think he's kind of the bulldog and the
you
let's
need
go
that
guy.
on a good team,
Yeah.
don't you?
And the best thing with him is when he's playing well, they're unstoppable. When he has it, and there's nights. I thought during the 25-game winning streak to start the 16 season, I thought he was incredible. And the intensity that he played with every night was really inspiring.
Triple doubles and
oh my God,
every category.
Taking on crowds and just, I just love that guy.
Now, Curry is everything you want from a superstar, a fearless competitor, and just an incredible leader.
And so he hits both.
And once he gets into a groove like that, you can just count him.
And before the ownership changed in 2010, the Warriors franchise really staggered.
Yeah, they staggered to the point that in 2012, I wrote a long column for Grantland about, it was like the 60 reasons you can't blame the Warriors fans for booing their owner on Chris Mullin night. And I went through their whole history since they won the title in '74, of just all the horrible things that happened to them, all the dumb moves they made, all the dumb trades, all the things they never should have done. It was extensive. And after things flipped around, people mail me that article all the time, like, can you believe it? We've won 3 titles in the last 4 years. You just wrote this. It feels like yesterday. And it was. It's one of the most amazing turnarounds of any franchise I can remember.
I'm assuming you're a fan of their front office.
Yeah, very, very smart. But, you know, the pieces were there. When they bought the team, everyone thought they overpaid. And not to toot my own horn because I've been wrong a million times, but I was one of the only people who didn't think they overpaid. I just felt like that market was awesome. I loved their fans. It was in the heart of Silicon Valley. It made sense that they should be a juggernaut, you know, and they'd never really had good ownership. And as we learn over and over every year at the Knicks, like, owners matter. They just do.
Bill, you've watched the NBA evolve. Talk about some of the biggest changes over the last decade you've seen.
The three-point line and the threes or foul shots philosophy, I think, is the biggest thing. Just the pace of the game has really improved, and to a really pleasing way for fans. Like, just what Steve Nash was doing last decade and those Suns teams, that everybody's playing that way now. I think the social media and the players basically getting rid of the wall between them and the fans, using social media, using Instagram, and we just feel like we know these guys better. And their ability to control their own message now versus where they were 10 years ago. It all started with the decision in LeBron James and has carried through this whole decade. And these guys now, they can get whatever message out they want. They can criticize the president. They can criticize their own team. They can ask for a trade. If they get called out by some writer or somebody who writes a hit piece, they can go back at the guy and sick all their fans on the writer.
Knocks it loose and stolen by James. It's deflected, and it's Cousins with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. He's checked in for Durant. And Kyle Kuzma's checked in for Brandon Ingram. Josh Hart comes in for Caldwell Pope, and Ball subbed in for Rajon Rondo. So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. Changes. Jordan Bell comes in for DeMarcus Cousins, and it's Livingston in for Klay Thompson. And Los Angeles making a change here as well. And Stevenson's checked in for James. Now here's Stevenson. McGee a screen. Ball kicks to Hart. 5 on the clock. Here's the 3. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game. Bill, since they drafted Steph Curry, the Warriors' fortunes have really changed. Would you call him the most important pick in the history of that franchise?
I would veer it a different way. I think it's one of the most important missed picks
of other teams
in the history of the NBA. Because for 2 reasons. One, because the Timberwolves had the 2 picks right before and passed them both times.
2 guards, right?
And took 2 point guards. Neither of whom was named Stephen Curry, so that was amazing. The pick after him was the New York Knicks, and if he had gone there, you could make a case that, he saves the Knicks. Or you could make the case that maybe he gets hurt wherever he goes. This is somebody that had really, really bad ankle injuries and was lucky enough to be in an organization in Silicon Valley where he got the right kind of treatment and thought about these new wave ways to treat his ankles. He relearned how he ran.
Core was strengthened.
He strengthened his core and basically took pressure off his ankles where if he'd come up in the 1980s, maybe he plays 5 years and he's out of the league. And my point is, if he goes to the Timberwolves or goes to the Knicks, he probably gets hurt, and we probably know Stephen Curry is the guy who got hot on Davidson for 2 years.
And a bust in the NBA, right?
Yeah, or not a bust, or like a what-if guy. Like, oh, man, it's too bad that guy got hurt. And instead he goes to the Warriors. So
well said.
Really a great what-if pick. He has so many bad what-ifs, and this was the perfect what-if.
Jerebko's checked in for Draymond Green. Michael Beasley, he's checked in for the Lakers. Good on the second free throw.
Well, one interesting fact about Sean people might not know is that he was named Mr. Basketball in Illinois in his high school days. That's an honor he'll always cherish.
Now here's Ball. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. And the foul on Jordan Bell. That is his first foul of the game. There's 57 seconds left to play in the first. Beasley with a screen on Curry. Shot clock at 5. Here's Stevenson, and it's good with time running down on the shot clock. Stevenson's got his first basket.
And they are going toe-to-toe here tonight, guys. This thing's like a heavyweight fight.
Punch, counter punch. Neither club's been able to sustain an advantage.
Curry outside, and again, no good by Golden State. Lakers have gotten 6 of 11 shots to go down so far. Pretty nice shooting. It's stolen by Jerebko. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Curry against Ball. Now here's Curry, guarded closely. Shot clock at 6. From deep. No good on that one.
Just testing out the cannon on that misfire.
Way beyond the arc on that play. It's the kind of shot he can make, but not necessarily the one you want.
At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. The Lakers on top. They lead by 2. We've got more in store for you right after this. So much talent on this Warriors team. Draymond Green talks about how it all meshes together.
The way I judge, whether we can play together or not is on the defensive end. I never really judge on the offensive end. It's about picking each other up on the defensive end and all being on the string.
Greg, defense is Draymond's specialty, no question about it.
And it all starts on that end. The Warriors feel like if they take care of business at that end, the offense will take care of itself.
And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
I think they played great D and not giving up anything easy early on.
Yeah, closing down the lane, closing out on perimeter shooters. Interesting first quarter.
Livingston is out there with Curry. Then there's Bell. Then there's Iguodala. And it's Jerebko in at the power forward. That's the group for the Golden State Warriors to start the second quarter. Kuzma can't get it to go.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Bill, you've done quite a few player interviews over your life, and I'm sure there are some guys that have surprised you with what they've got to say.
Yeah. I think we're in a really cool generation with basketball players where they're these really thoughtful guys who aren't afraid to share stuff. Some of the guys try to protect their images and their manufactured reputations, I would say, to some degree. But for the most part, the candidness of some of these guys, you can't hide on a podcast. Mm-hmm. If I have you for an hour, you're not going to be able to dodge stuff. You're going to have to.
You challenge people, that's the beauty of the podcast.
Well, and I don't have notes, so I do it. I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, and we're going. And you got to be ready.
That's how Larry King used to do it. Yeah.
So some guys are ready. Like Durant was great. Durant was ready to talk, and we did 5 podcasts, and everything's on the table with him. But my favorites are, somebody like Kyrie came in, really smart, kind of sort of ready to go, but not totally, but then got into it. And those are usually the best ones.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State, DeMarcus Cousins is checked in for Jordan Bell. Kevin Durant comes in for Andre Iguodala. And it's Klay Thompson in for Curry. Now here's Livingston. Cousins with a screen on Ball. Now here's Livingston. He's covered by Ball. Unloads from 13. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Livingston's got the first points up on the board here in the second quarter for the Warriors. I want to get back to what we were chatting about, Bill, with how today's NBA players are so media ready, whether it be interviews or social media. Your take is really interesting.
I think in general, all these guys, the guys now are so used to talking to people and being in front of people, and they're not surprised by questions, and they know how to handle themselves. They know how to not get in trouble, and they're comfortable.
Plus, maybe they've kind of grown up with you, though, too. You know what? You've been relevant for many years. Well, they've grown up with your stuff.
To be honest, a lot of them just know me as the white guy on NBA Countdown. They might not have read me, but they remember that year I was with Jalen Rose, But what's weird is
I think you'd be surprised.
Well, you know this too. When you're on TV, the credibility you get from being on TV, I wasn't prepared for within the NBA.
Oh, really?
I think that's true. Yeah, I think it's he's on TV, he's okay, and maybe they don't agree with you all the time, but you've passed some imaginary checkpoint with those guys.
Well, you may think that TV was your validation. This is going to be your validation.
Oh, 100%.
2K. This is it. I'm stamping you right now.
This is better than winning a Pulitzer Prize.
Draymond Green, he's checked in for the Warriors. So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe.
Yeah, and the second pick in the 2016 draft out of Duke, Brandon Ingram, possessing a rare combination of length and shooting ability.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Draymond Green is a former Defensive Player of the Year, and he remembers his motivation. They said I fell in the draft because what position would I guard? I'll never forget that. I'm comfortable guarding any position. When I'm playing against big guys, I battle even harder. You have to prove a point. I won't be a pushover. Kevin?
Yeah, he never backs down. Thanks, David. Now here's Ingram, following the miss by Draymond Green. It's rebounded by Durant. Bill, several of your books have been bestsellers. How did it feel to see your work so well received around the world?
I think I was really happy that the basketball book did well because I spent a long time writing it, and it was 700 pages. And when it got mailed to me, it was so big, I thought people would just be terrified of it. And, you know, it turns out,
they embraced the
size.
size.
I think they did. They liked it. I designed it for people to be able to put on their toilet or bring on an airplane or whatever they wanted to do with it. But I was always amazed that there wasn't a basketball book that tried to kind of group all these other books and some of the opinions and all the misinformation. Like the fact that, honestly, the reason I wanted to write the book was just that people thought Wilt Chamberlain was better than Bill Russell. And yet every single thing written in the 60s was that Bill Russell was better. And all the players would say Bill Russell was better. And when they played together, Bill Russell's team won. So it's like, how do we get to the point where people think Wilt Chamberlain was better? So it was that and some other stuff that made me want to write the book.
First free throw is good.
And Caldwell Pope is a guy you cannot leave open at any time. He's just a very good shooter from any spot on the floor.
Curry's checked in for the Warriors. And Caldwell Pope drops them both.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
That one's in there. The Lakers lead is cut down now to just 3 on the bucket from Curry.
You got to try to cut Curry off. That's how he makes you pay for a quick pull-up.
It's Ingram on the wing over Green. And it's Ingram missing.
He's going to have a tough time hitting that if he can't create a little more space for himself.
Down low. And there's Stephen Curry on the assist by Durant. And it's now only a 1-point Laker lead.
And his shot, I mean, has come around. I mean, for most of the first quarter, it looked like he might be in for a long night.
And McGee kicks to Caldwell Pope. And it's Rondo in the corner. The Lakers need to get a shot off here. And Caldwell Pope good for 3. Caldwell Pope's got 8 points here in this quarter.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Bill, what a pleasure to have you with us. Great as always to hear your thoughts, your commentary. I hope you join us again soon.
I'd love it. Anytime, Kevin. Tell me.
Thank you. And Greg, how much fun is it to have Bill with us? Such a prominent voice in sports journalism and never afraid to speak his mind.
You know, oftentimes when you gain popularity, you become a little more conservative, a little more reserved, but not Bill. And that's why he's maintained such a tremendous following.
Something affected him on that shot, and it wasn't the defense.
Outside Durant. 44 seconds left in the second quarter. Ingram with the steal. The finish is slam dunk by Ingram.
Ingram's length and activity paying off. Great transition defense to offense.
Curry fires from way outside. And another 3 for Golden State.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Caldwell Pope outside. Shot and game clock separated by 5. James, the pass to McGee. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
An elite passer at his position. I mean, James always seems to make the right decision.
Warriors trail by 3.
And this is where you milk the clock.
You're exactly right. No reason to give your opponent another crack at this. It's all you.
Now here's Curry over Rondo. Curry gets the bucket. Curry's got 10 points now just in this quarter.
And look, is there any shot that Curry can't knock down? I mean, he is an unconscious scorer.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Steve Kerr. Coach, what did the team do in that first half defensively?
Just competed. You know, we have a very good defensive team, and our guys are getting after it. I think we've been a lot better defensively than we have offensively, and some of that defense has led to some transition and some open shots.
Something your guys always fall back on. Thanks, Steve. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime, so we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. A competitive matchup for the Lakers in the first quarter. Their largest deficit of the period was just 4 points. They were right there within shouting distance the entire time. They were outscored by just a bit in the second quarter as they go into the break now holding just a 1-point advantage. And let's get your thoughts, Kenny, on the Lakers.
Well, it's always a little bit of a challenge playing on the road, but they came in mentally prepared and physically prepared. The energy in the arena was fierce, but they didn't cave in.
Shaq, what are your thoughts on Golden State?
Well, on offense, I like to see them play inside out more. Attack the basket, generate easy points. And then once the defense collapses, kick it out to the perimeter for open looks. Trust me, I know. Rick Fox, Big Shot Bob, that's all we did.
And that's going to do it for our halftime show, sadly. Third quarter about to start. See you again after the final.
Horn. Oh, buzzer.
As we return to the action here at Oracle, a terrific look from above at downtown Oakland and the historic Tribune Tower. We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Curry has been sensational.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters, just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Yeah, right. I mean, the defense hasn't had an answer for this guy yet. Just too skilled, too driven this far.
When it came to a big man's responsibilities, you helped pave the way for so much change in that regard, but what are some of the big C-Web now doing that weren't done when you were playing?
I don't know, Kevin, if it was anything that they weren't doing, but it's the freedom to do it with consistency. So even if we talk about a Larry Bird, who only could shoot maybe a 3.5 a game, let's just round it up to 2 threes a game. Well, now, what if Larry Bird had the freedom to shoot 10 threes a game like guys do now? And so I think that the game has caught up with players' skill set as opposed to the skill set catching up with players' games. So no longer are you held to being a big man. Now you can be a basketball player, and being a basketball player for Dirk Nowitzki is much better than him being a big man. Dirk Nowitzki, being a basketball player that he is, means that he is a threat wherever he is on the floor, because he's not just limited to a 2-foot box space there in the post. And for defenders like myself, I would much rather Dirk Nowitzki have to stay 2 feet in the post than to be able to shoot the ball whenever, wherever he wanted to. Because I tell you what, now you got a problem, because he can knock it down from anywhere and everywhere that he wants to.
Taking a look at the Lakers. Rondo and Caldwell Pope in the backcourt. LeBron James is out there with Brandon Ingram. And it's McGee in at the center, filling out the middle. Shot clock at 3. Here's Caldwell Pope. The shot, no good. Good D by Thompson. McGee's shot is off.
That's just a quick move to the 10 and an even quicker reaction by the D to stop.
Durant, that's good.
How's that for a start? Good on all 3 attempts so far in the second half.
Caldwell Pope outside. Pass to Ingram. Now the feed to McGee. And the refs are going to rule that unnecessary contact. It's a flagrant 1 foul.
Boy, a very hard foul that time, and the officials had to slap him with the flagrant. I mean, you can't let him get away with that kind of contact.
Yeah, gee, that's an easy call for the officials to make when there's that much contact. The league is really cracking down on those sort of plays.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That's good from McGee. And isn't it amazing how overnight the Lakers went from a rebuilding team to a contending team now with LeBron?
You know, whatever team LeBron has been on has always been a threat to make the finals. Magic Johnson knows that. He was always a threat to make the finals. 9 for him, 8 for LeBron. I mean, the Lakers recognize and know that they have a 4-year window with LeBron now. Titles are a standard, for Magic Johnson and the Lakers, and their commitment to bringing LeBron in shows that.
There's the pick. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen. A chance to check out Los Angeles' upcoming schedule. On Thursday, they'll go up against C.J. McCollum and the Portland Trail Blazers. And then on Saturday, they'll be matching up with Chris Paul and the Houston Rockets.
And looking at the Suns matchup, I think they know how important it is to see how they measure up against the cream of the crop in the West. I'm looking for them to approach it like this is a playoff matchup.
Here's Hart. He's covered by Thompson. Hart kicks to Kuzma. Right at the free throw line, and a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. Kuzma's got the game tied up here for Los Angeles. Curry passes to Urepko. The screen from Thompson, and stolen by LeBron. And Ball gets it to go on the assist by LeBron. Ball's got his first points of the game.
And James is great at staying alert on defense, pouncing on any opportunity he sees to swipe the ball.
And here is Jerebko. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Thompson passes to Cousins. And he makes that one.
That's where Cousins is most dangerous, and letting him go to work inside is something they're always trying to make happen.
Passes to Hart. Kuzma sets a screen and finished off by LeBron.
Oh, what a crazy connection right there. James knowing when to fly towards the rim. Amazing at completing these alley-oops.
And that Unleash Chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Hover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. Thompson with the bucket.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Los Angeles calls timeout.
Well, one thing you love about Klay Thompson is he's just cool and calm. I mean, he stays in his own lane. Steve Kerr says he's not low maintenance, but he's no maintenance. He plays hard at both ends. He just wants to win, and then he goes home and walks his bulldog rocker. Bulldogs, you can't walk them. I mean, that's about it.
And some changes here for the Warriors. Jordan Bell's checked in for Cousins, and it's Iguodala in for Kevin Durant. And Los Angeles making a change here as well. Lance Stevenson's checked in for JaVale McGee. Now here's James. 8 points for him. Kuzma with the screen for LeBron. Stevenson a screen on Bell. Just 5 on the clock. And it's denied. No one near Curry as he lets it go. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. And you look at Klay, not a care in the world.
Well, he's smooth. He has a carefree attitude. It helps in the locker room. I think it also helps him as a smooth shooter. I mean, even if he misses a couple, he's not thinking about it. He just keeps shooting.
And here's Kuzma after the three-pointer from Stephen Curry. And he recovers it. Kicks it out to Stevenson. And at last, they get one to fall.
Orchestrating this offense, James, so crafty at distributing the rock.
Iguodala outside. They set the screen. Here's Thompson. Rebounded by Hart. Hart's got 4 rebounds in this game. There's 57 seconds left in the third quarter. Kuzma sets a screen. Bell against James. Good for another field goal. Number 5 in the night. 5 for 10 shooting.
He's been a different guy here in the second half. His shooting percentage far better than it was before the break.
Pass to Jerebko. Thompson for 3. And another 3 for Golden State.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give him from behind the arc.
The Lakers have gone a solid 6 of 11 when shooting here in the third quarter. Stevenson outside. LeBron against Bell. 13 feet away. Again, the Lakers.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Curry against Ball. And the call will be against Lonzo Ball. That's foul number 2 for him.
His second person, second team.
Rondo against Curry. From deep three-point range, from beyond the arc, and then some. Curry's got 23.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Well, that's because they made a concerted effort to get the shooters involved. Now they've built up the confidence.
It's been all about Stephen Curry for the Golden State Warriors. He's been a major threat from three-point range. Got 2 of them to fall in that quarter. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Well, I like that he didn't make his decision too early. You know, he let the play develop. That's how you do it. Finds the weakness in that defense.
All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. The tremendous pair of Curry and Clay in the backcourt. Iguodala and Green, the duo at forward. And it's Bell in at the 5, home in the paint. So that's the group out there for Golden State. Warriors leading by 3. And the wide open shot from Green. Misses off the right iron.
It's been a rough game for him, but it won't sting too bad as long as they hang on to the lead.
Here's Stevenson. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
Yes.
Stevenson's got the first points up on the board here in the 4th for the Lakers. On the wing, Thompson. Over Caldwell Pope, and Thompson gets it to go in on the assist by Curry. 7 points for Klay Thompson.
Hard to imagine them losing this game if they can keep shooting like that.
Stevenson with it, and it's Iguodala picking him up. And there's the call on Klay Thompson. That's foul number 2 for him. The Warriors making a switch here. Cousins is checked in. JaVale McGee's checked in for the Lakers. Fourth quarter just getting started. 1 minute in the books. Wants to get it to Stevenson and does. Shot clock at 6. Outside for Caldwell. Another shot. And the Warrior lead has been cut to just 1 on the basket from McGee.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Screen by Cousins. Here's Curry with the 3. Rebounded by McGee. LA's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. They set the pick. Stevenson against Iguodala. Stevenson kicks to Rondo. McGee a screen. Rondo against Curry. McGee trying to break free. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down.
And so far, this has got that feel of a game that could be back and forth all the way.
Yeah, at some point, though, you might expect one team to go on a run, but this could come down to the wire. Well, he's played a smart and strong game. His field goal percentage proves it.
Here's Stevenson. Inside, and it's McGee with the jam. Time running low, guys, and somebody has got to win this one.
Yeah, well, who knows? We might need overtime in this one. It's been that kind of a game.
Now here's Thompson. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation.
3 triples in the first half, 3 in the second. Boy, do they add up.
Los Angeles calls timeout. Greg, you look at the lineup for the reigning champs. When healthy, this team starts 5 all-star players at every position.
And even with Boogie coming back from a devastating injury, this team is scary. People immediately called it the best team ever assembled. Credit the front office, but the Warriors players still have to prove they are the best ever on the floor this season.
And the Warriors making a change here. Durant's checked in. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Luke Walton was saying to the team. He knows this has been a hard-fought game, and he wanted his guys to just sit down and catch their breath. He said, look, we're right in the game, guys. Let's make a little push here. Let's come out with some bite. Kevin?
All right, thank you, David. To the paint, here's Thompson. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Green's got 4 assists in the game.
He's a tough guard. I mean, he can score in so many ways. I mean, inside, outside. I mean, you know what Thompson can do.
Now here's Ingram.
Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good.
And Ingram, the former Blue Devil, an extraordinary player who only promises to get better.
And Los Angeles with some changes. LeBron, he's checked in for Lance Stevenson. And Ball subbed in for Rajon Rondo. And he makes both free throws.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Curry kicks to Thompson. Back to Curry. Green with a screen on Caldwell Pope. Green, the screen. Curry from deep three-point land. And another 3 for Golden State.
But how about the consistency from range tonight? Really impressive.
That's because he's finding his spots. No hesitation. You can sense his confidence.
Now here's Caldwell Pope. McGee is screen on Thompson. Caldwell Pope, and it's good. He planted his feet on the pick and shielded the defender off.
In key moments like this, you need guys like Caldwell Pope to come through with a huge bucket. Just tremendous focus.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. Now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Stephen Curry.
And what an amazing ball game we've seen from him. It's been a one-man show worth the price of admission all by itself. There wasn't anything he couldn't do on that court tonight.
Off the inbound, it's tipped.
A solid shot blocker at his position. Boss length allows him to make a difference on this end.
On the wing, James. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Now just a 3-point Warrior lead.
Oh, I love how James takes hold of these possessions. When his team needs a basket, he steps up to the plate.
Curry is inside. He's covered by Ball. Launches a 3. Curry's shot is off.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
Yeah, because you're spread out. It can be difficult to contest these shots, but not for him.
1:12 left in the fourth quarter. The 10-footer finds the target. Curry's got 31 points.
Oh, he's been doing this since back in the day, since back in college. Curry's one of the most clutch performers we have, really, in any sport.
Now here's James. Count it! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
Oh, you got to love the poise of James, a master at executing in clutch situations.
58 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Knocked away. Here's Curry. They'll be trying to take as much time off the clock as they can.
Exactly. Expect to see longer possessions from this point on.
44 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Cousins with a screen on Ball. Shot clock at 5. From the baseline.
And whenever Caldwell Pope is on you, his length is going to be on your mind. You're going to be looking in that rear view mirror, just so good at positioning his body and not fouling on his contest.
Now, that is cold-blooded.
Well, we want people to tune in, don't we? This is what they're tuning into. Big moments.
And they go to the intentional foul. Drops the first one, and that will put them up by 2.
Quite possibly the best shooter of all time. Curry just continues to impress.
So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
Get about the pressure. He was perfect. No choice but to look for the 3.
Timeout called the Lakers. They trail by 3. 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What do you think, guys?
You know, you'd love to be able to clear space and get that triple, but you can also do the 2 with a quick foul.
Well, these are some of the toughest decisions. I mean, a good argument can be made for either case.
23 seconds left in the game. For 3, Caldwell Pope buries it. A tremendous 3 to tie it up.
Kev, when the game is on the line, Caldwell Pope stays ready to take the shot. Just a great player to go to in these type of spots.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. The score is tied at 63. 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Curry with it. Cousins with a screen on ball. Now Curry. Look out, and then you throw up stuff like that.
Come on.
You go home, Mike. How does it even go in? He pulls a Houdini.
Goodness, he got to call that next time.
Yeah.
He got to call that.
Right.
Maybe he tried. Come on.
And the Lakers call time here. Guys, what do you think?
And they need a miracle, guys. They don't have enough time for the catch-and-shoot 3, so the only hope is for an alley-oop and an and-one to finish out.
So it's a narrow victory for the Warriors, pulling out the W. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
I mean, these are those games that feel so great to win, and really, it's like a knife in the gut to lose. You gotta love being on edge of your seat and just wondering what's gonna happen. How is this thing gonna play out?
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. DeMarcus, maybe some expected you to win tonight, but it wasn't easy. So what do you take away from this game?
It's a learning lesson. We didn't defend at a high level like we're capable of doing. We can't continue to play, this type of basketball, or teams are going to take advantage. So we got to come out, defend at a high level, and bury these teams early.
Sometimes you have to win when you don't play well, right? Congrats, DeMarcus. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you later.